so that we can.
Okay. Oh my God, are we live?
We are live.
It's happening.
We're live doing this podcast.
Now I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to speak about today, Rebecca? We haven't got a plan.
How to create a podcast without a plan.
Is that it? Question, because we're just making it up as we go along.
Kind of feels right for us, doesn't it?
It does. That's what we're going to do. I don't have time to plan a podcast.
Have you ever had a plan for anything in your life?
Now let me think. Have I had a plan for anything in my life? I guess I made wedding plans at some point, but then again, it was completely hijacked by what everybody else wanted to do. And actually, what started as the plan was to just like go to the beach. And I don't know why I'm telling you about this, but you asked.
That's okay. No, ask a question.
This was a plan.
Yeah.
To have a wedding on a beach, and people are just standing around. And then afterwards, we just, bring out the eskies and the music, and we just like hang on the beach and party.
Mm-hmm.
That was the wedding.
Right. That was the plan.
That was the plan.
And what actually happened?
What actually happened was a grand silk-lined marquee in my parents' backyard, and everybody sitting at tables quite formally.
Mm-hmm.
And how we got from the beach to this like fancy marquee with fairy lights and stuff was just one person saying, "Where is Granddad going to sit?" Because he couldn't stand. So then I was like, "Oh, we just put a few chairs on the beach," and then it just out of control.
Right.
I don't think I'm very much of a planner, I've got to say. And once I have a plan, I look at it and just think, I don't know if I want to do that.
I mean, not to kind of scare everybody here, that because obviously we're going to have a really huge wide audience at some point. Not to scare everybody. We have got a little bit of a plan for this podcast. Well, we have, because the plan is to take your concept of She Speaks and to kind of talk about it.
Talk about the concept of She Speaks. Women finding their voice.
That's a plan.
It's a plan. It's an idea. I mean, I don't know if it's like my idea. It was just what I felt needed to be done. I think that I spent many, many decades not giving myself a voice, not maybe even liking my voice. I mean, I don't know if I do particularly like my voice, but I used to hide, basically. That's what I'm saying. I used to hide. I used to hide what I really felt I wanted to say. So for decades, if there was shit going down at work, I would never say, like, this is wrong, this shouldn't be happening, and stand up for people. And I mean, actually, that's not true. I did used to stand up for people.
Maybe
and it used to get me fired. But I didn't stand. I wasn't good at standing up for myself. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So much easier, isn't it?
That's exactly
so much
right.
easier to give another woman a voice.
I know
than to
that
share
is
your
so
own.
true. It's like one of my first jobs was waitressing, and this guy gave this my friend a tip, and it was called Frank's. The name of the guy was Frank. And if somebody knows where I'm from, Essendon, they'll be able to know, who I'm talking about even. But anyway, he wasn't very nice to his waitresses, because we were all, pretty little things looking back.
Yeah.
And anyway, he said that she couldn't keep the tip. He wanted to just take her tip. And I said, that's wrong. And then I threw a plate of pasta at him.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
I know.
How old were you?
And then ran out crying. I was about 14 or 15.
Good for you.
And then I rang my dad at the phone box. Probably I didn't have 10 cents, so I would have gone through the operator, done that. Dad, can you come pick me up? I think I just got fired. So having said that, I did have a voice, but actually I don't think that's the way I would want to operate now, like getting really angry, so angry you throw a bowl of hot food on someone. Like, I really think that isn't the voice that I would, even though I was like,
That's not the voice you'd want now, necessarily. You see,
well, no, I need to be calm. Sorry.
I'd quite like that voice now. I can actually see circumstances now where I would really be, it would be much better for me to be the kind of person that chucked a plate of pasta at someone than to absorb all that anger in myself.
Yeah, not let it out. Oh, that's so true. It's so good. I mean, but that is so true. And actually, on that note, somebody was telling me about the thing that they do every morning, which I thought, this sounds good. And it's from Paulo Coelho, Paulo Coelho, the alchemist.
Oh, yeah.
That author whose name I
can't
never
pronounce
say.
that either. No.
Is he Spanish?
I can spell it.
Argentinian. Paulo Coelho. Yeah, Cuehlo or something. Anyway, he said what he used to do is he used to pretend that he was a seed in the ground every morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of a meditation exercise in finding your voice, but very physical. And then you get taller, from a crouch position, you get it bigger. And imagine that you're growing like a plant. And then you have to finish like stretching yourself till it hurts and screaming your head off, which we're not going to do because there's customers around.
It does sound good.
Yeah. And he was like, you've got to get your voice out. Mm-hmm. And so if you practice that scream, that morning scream, and I reckon a bit of plate smashing.
Yeah, I think
after this in part of the screaming would be good.
Actually, perhaps what today's kind of test episode is, it's how to find your voice.
Yes.
Because I'm not very good with it expressing
your truth.
Not at all. I'd much rather hide all that. That's far too scary.
So what's scary about it?
Because someone might come along and say, you shouldn't do that. You can't be that person. So you shouldn't be doing that.
So what will you talk about?
Oh, I'll talk.
Yeah.
And I will share. I'll share me and I'll share.
Yeah.
But there'll be a part of me that is always in the back of my mind, listening to what I'm saying and self-editing.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to a certain extent.
We do need to, sorry.
Yeah, no, we do need to a certain extent. Yeah, because otherwise,
a little bit.
What would come out?
Yeah,
really?
And I guess I'm not talking about an unedited, just something that spills out.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what you do in the Coelho exercise, where you're just screaming. No, ideally.
Yeah, it's like that classic psychotherapy exercise, isn't it? Where you're punching the bag, or not the bag, sorry, the pillow or the cushion. Yeah, and you're seeing that as the route to accessing those emotions. Yeah, and so that's a kind of quite private sense in which we do that. And perhaps if we do enable ourselves, and I forget about these kind of things, if we enable ourselves to do that in private, it then gives us space to have that more calm expression.
Yeah.
We're not going to be out there chucking plates of pasta. We're going to be quite rational now.
I think so, because I think you're getting it out physically, and I think that's why I do that get up and dance disco thing on Friday, because trauma is stored in the body. You have to let it out, and even if it's just like shaking it all about. Body Keeps Score, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That book. It's highly recommend it.
Yes.
We'll put that in the show notes. We're going to do show notes, if you know.
We're going to be.
See, we did have a plan, actually. No, we didn't, but I just thought of it then.
We will be having show notes.
Yeah, and we'll put references into books.
Books we talk about.
Yeah. And other stuff, resources that we think, that could help people. You know
what we haven't said? We haven't said where we are doing this from.
Now, where are we now?
Not
in
just
time and space.
I think actually geographically where we are now as well.
Yeah, excellent. So I reckon, let's just tell them. Do you want to tell them?
Well, we're in West Dorset.
We're in West Dorset. Dorset and then West, which is southwest of London.
Yeah.
3 or 4 hours.
Because obviously at some point we will be having an international viewing. So
can I paint my nails while we go international?
Yeah. So we're in West Dorset. Is this still Bridport? Yeah. So
it's between Bridport and West Bay. Some places it says it's West Bay.
But where we are recording this morning from is a really, really lovely space.
So nice, isn't it?
Really lovely.
You like all the dresses?
Oh, we are so lucky. So
we like the vintage.
It's a
dresses.
Beautiful. I don't know how you describe this space. It's a cafe. It's a reclamation yard. It's a garden centre.
It's a morning disco.
It's just a really, really lovely space, and it's also got a beautiful
vintage furniture, vintage clothes,
and it's going to be really hard for me.
Local food. Sorry for interrupting. Farm shop.
Not to rummage.
I know
through the clothes.
I know, but that'd be all right. I reckon we could make that part of it. Shall we?
Yeah, at some point.
I've just got a feeling you might have some really good style tips up your sleeve, Rebecca.
Me?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, who knows? But
you can tell us what you'd like us to talk about too, folks.
Please do, because otherwise you will be listening to us rabbiting on. It's
not rabbiting on. It's sharing our very profound thoughts and our wisdom that has taken us many, many decades to accrue. Thank you.
Absolutely. So this is where we are geographically. We're in Dorset. Where we are in our own lives,
in our heads, or in real life.
In real life. Let's go to real life first.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Go on.
So I moved from London to West Dorset about 18 months ago. I have no clue at all what I'm doing with my life, but I never have. So there's nothing new.
Okay.
Nothing new about that for me. I found myself in Bridport without giving it a lot of thought, really. I decided that South Street was where I wanted to live. And strangely enough, it's also where Angie lives. South Street.
No, we live in the same street.
Side of the street.
I know. It's the right street, I've got to say.
And
although I don't want to create division.
No.
People on the other side.
No.
It's
a very inclusive street.
I love them.
So yeah, so we do live on the same street in the same town. Angie has lovely red nails. I have
now some lippy. Keep going.
To smithery.
Sorry, and they're not very long.
And we met by chance when we were walking our dogs.
Just a walk in the dog.
And that's just kind of very Bridport. That's very Bridport that we.
Yeah. You just make friends in the street.
Yeah. So this is what we have in common.
But your T-shirt also, I thought I have to speak to this woman because she had a really interesting T-shirt on.
Oh yeah, so I had my age T-shirt.
I had your age
Advantage, courage.
Yeah.
I will put in the show notes where that T-shirt comes from.
Yeah,
because you can still buy it.
Yeah,
and it's a friend of mine. It's her label, so I will do that.
Yeah, that's
and I'll
cool.
wear it on one occasion.
Yeah, because my friend in Melbourne works for The Age. Hi, Kezzy. And so I thought, is that an Age newspaper T-shirt? So I just needed to find out what's going on there. So yeah, and then we just had a big chat, didn't we?
Did.
And I think within about 3 minutes we had started up a women's radio station.
We had. Yeah.
So this is how we're starting that.
This is a kind of trial pilot. Let's see how it goes.
I think it's happening. This is it.
Oh yeah, this is
happening.
It's happening. So where are you in your life, Angie? In reality?
In reality, I am 54. It's my 54th year, but I think that's just really matter. I haven't been 54 before, so quite open.
That's what's lovely, isn't it?
Not knowing the mystery. I'm loving it. I'm actually having. This is my favorite year in my whole life ever. Mm-hmm. I would like to say I've never been happier, actually, and not because like everything's particularly going great. I just feel like I've stopped worrying about all the shit that I used to worry about. And it might be because I've only got 2 brain cells left because of the menopause, which I'm renamed the menoportal, because it's like you're going through a portal. Just need to keep moving, Ange. it's not a pause in any sense. It's not a stopping of
It certainly
anything.
isn't a
It's like
pause.
the fucking beginning. So I just not using that word. So I'm walking through the menopause and everything's changing. Everything's like, burning. Everything's on fire because I'm getting a hot flush, but it's like it's fine. I sing that song to myself, this girl is on fire. So I sing that to myself whenever I have a hot flush. So I've got like all these sort of positive triggers around the brain fog. The brain fog, I just feel like, Ange, forget the brain. It's not that important. Forget the mind. Just what's important is your heart, your feelings. Just focus on that.
Yeah.
So what's going on up here? Because this is where I used to live, up here. And so much so I give myself a serious panic attack every now and then. I mean, I got it under control with meditation and yoga. Under control. That's the wrong word. But, I feel like living from here is the only way now. And brain fog, whatever, portal has that is an invitation to live a different way, and it's made me so freaking happy, I've got to say.
How lovely.
I know.
Oh,
really happy. But it's also about this, like meeting awesome women all the time, as you do in Bridgeport. There's a lot of awesome women, isn't there?
Yeah,
I mean, honestly.
Yeah, no, there really are.
It's freaking amazing. Everybody that comes to my Get Up and Dance, honestly, it's all women on Fridays. We're dancing. They're amazing. Like, seriously amazing. And I just think that's where I am. I'm there dancing with all the other amazing women, and I'm just thinking, you're friggin' awesome. And why I want to do this is because I think we don't know how awesome we are.
Yeah, I mean, I think the majority of women very much underplay themselves. We do make ourselves small in order to make men feel better about themselves.
Is that why we're doing it?
That's why I do it. So that's an admission to make, isn't it?
Do we do it for men?
I was taught. I know. I mean, I'm a bit older than you. I'm coming up to 59. I was definitely taught as a child that everything you do to make these important men in your life, your father, your brother, the people you work for, everything better.
Yeah, right. Actually.
Yeah. So that's
yeah.
And no matter how I try to go against that, I do it. Still do it. If I'm in a group and I'm not going to say something that's going to offend a man. If I'm in a mixed group, I know it's terrible. It's such strong conditioning that even though on an intellectual level I know it's completely ridiculous, I know I do it. Sorry, that is such a mission to make in public.
No. I feel like I can totally relate to that. I think men have had more power, and I was definitely brought up that was the way things are, and that is definitely the way things were. So for me, brought up in the Catholic Church at convent schools, primary and secondary.
I also was brought up RC.
There you go. That's why we're getting on.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like on the stage. And when I say the stage, on the altar with the altar boys who had their special white robes, and everyone was looking at them, and they were doing the bells and the smells and the candles. And I thought, oh, gee, that was
they had that really important role to play.
Really important.
Yeah,
and everybody was
doing
like
the flowers,
standing up to hell no, the poor woman that does the church flowers. Bless her. Bless you, Val. You did a great job. But I think things have changed, but I really wanted to be up there. I wanted to be active. I wanted to be part of it's not like I wanted to be important, but I wanted to be part of the action. And as the priest said to me, when I asked him if I could be an altar boy, he said, no, you're a bit ahead of your time. But actually now they do have altar girls and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole thing, since I have got a completely different perspective on it, and we won't go there. This episode.
I was just thinking that's
Let's
quite.
Just not go there. But I think the point was, so I grew up, the men were in charge, and I definitely, my first few jobs, it was always a male boss, and I didn't actually have female bosses, I don't think, until I moved to London, and then I worked in advertising, and there was some it was very toxic work environments. I can see that now.
I mean,
bad.
Tell me, darling.
Bad.
My whole working life was spent in fashion.
Yeah.
Toxic. I mean, I always had female bosses.
Yeah. I did in advertising.
My female bosses that I had in fashion, some of them were great, but by and large, working in the fashion industry from the 1980s onwards taught me that women weren't to be trusted.
Oh, that's
a serious admission to make, isn't it? Gosh, it's all coming out today.
I don't know. It's not actually? Is it? Oh, yeah. What, did you trust the men bosses?
I didn't. So I didn't have a lot of male bosses. The men. Yeah, you see.
I don't know if I don't think I trusted a man either.
I trusted men.
Trust is.
So I trusted men to promote me because I was clever, pretty, doing what I was supposed to be doing, telling them they were amazing. Trusted men to promote me.
Oh my God, you suck job. That's what we would have called that. Sorry. No, I know. Yeah, well, that's what you had to do to get ahead. Is that right? Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's all just so toxic. It's horrible, now, isn't it? It's horrible.
And we were thinking this was entertaining.
I really don't want to talk about freaking advertising in the bloody.
We don't do that anymore.
That's
not where we are.
It was quite depressing. We don't do that anymore, and so that's probably why I'm so happy now as well, because I don't do that shit anymore, and I don't think I would. I reckon that I'm so way beyond working for assholes ever again. When I say assholes, probably just working in environments that are toxic.
Let's really, really hope that post Me Too, working environments have changed for most young women. Now, obviously, I've got 2 grown-up daughters who are out there working. The feedback I get from them hasn't really changed that
much. I don't reckon it's changed.
I'd like to, on some level, think it's better. But this is another podcast.
I don't know.
This is another episode, isn't it?
Talk about this. We're finding our voice.
We are.
So finding our voice. Yeah, in the workplace, there's some history there that we could unpick maybe in future episodes.
And one of the things I think we both really want to do as well is, obviously we want to have guests on, and we want to talk to such a wide variety of other women whose voices we're interested in, don't we? We want all ages, all abilities, all types of women, because we're really fascinated. And I think that's something both of us
I'm curious.
We're really, really curious about other people's life experiences. Other
women's life experiences. I think I've grown up just listening to men's voices mostly on the news or in films or just across the whole media spectrum. And I think I'm ready to follow my curiosity and be listening. I want to listen to women's voices. I want to watch shows that women have written, that films that they've made. And it's not because I don't think men have something, to say as well. It's not even about gender. I just feel like our stories I want to give them an airing. I want to hear that. I want to hear that because I feel like so much to do with being the experience of being a woman is just buried and not talked about.
Yeah. I think it is too. And I think
like going through the menopause.
Yeah.
We're getting a bit serious now.
We are. I think we should give ourselves kind of 5 minutes.
I'm talking for
way too long. I think we should give ourselves actually this She Speaks podcast is going to be. So if people want to tune into us on a regular basis, they kind of know what they're going to get.
Okay. Right. So we said we're going to do how to.
Yeah.
And this episode was going to be how to do a podcast, find your
how
voice.
to do a podcast, how to
Have
find
we
your voice.
answered that question? I think not giving a shit is the thing also that happened to me that made me find my voice. Like I used to care about what people thought about me and what I was saying, like 80%. Now maybe 5%. I think that's helped me find my voice, Rebecca, just to answer the question.
Yeah. I think my voice comes and goes. I think I had a couple of years before the whole kind of COVID hit thing where I really did find my voice and I felt quite confident for the first time in my life. And then we had all that disruption in the world. And I've moved away from London and I'm reassessing who I am and what I want and where I'm going. And so part of this process for me actually in doing this with you is what is my voice now and who is that where is that voice and what is that voice and who is it coming from?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely ebbing and flowing with finding my voice.
Yeah.
So this is going to be really interesting because in doing this, in choosing to do this podcast, I mean, I've really put myself in a position of feeling quite stretching myself with this.
Yeah. Outside your comfort zone.
Really outside my comfort zone.
Vulnerable even.
That was the word I was about to use, vulnerable.
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of my speaking voice.
Who does?
I'm through and through an Essex girl and I've got terrible flat vowels and I have in times in my life really made myself sound posh because it's made myself feel better. But the effort to do it. So I made when I chose.
Try being Australian. I'm so posh.
Well, I decided when I came to Bridport that I was just going to really be authentically me.
Yeah.
The problem with choosing that is you've spent so many years covering that person up that you start unpeeling it all and you've got no fucking idea what's underneath it.
Yeah.
That's my voice.
It's kind of exciting. I'm excited.
It's
I'm
exciting.
so excited. Like,
what's
going to be under here
yes.
when we peel the Rebecca onion, the layers.
So this is a real process of discovery for me. In choosing to say yes to this, it's a real like putting myself out there, really, really wanting, because I think it's really important that women have a voice. And I know, all the things. You have to choose that for yourself first. I can't say it's really important for my daughters to have a voice. It's really important for this next generation too. And then deny my own right to say what I think.
Know, yeah. 100%.
And just one quick little story that something happened to me when I was much younger. So I was my first boyfriend and I was 16 and we'd gone to see some friends of his. First time I'd met these friends. And in the car on the way there, he said to me, whatever you do, just keep quiet.
Oh my God.
They're not like, these are my friends and you're a bit wacky. So just keep your opinions to yourself.
Right.
So I thought, I took this really to heart and I sat with this group of predominantly 17-year-old boys and I didn't say anything, nothing at all. And they asked me if I wanted to drink and I would just go.
Right.
And I just didn't talk.
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah. I know.
Something
I
like that.
Can relate to that. And it's so, I feel so sad when I think about my 17-year-old self doing that. Or I think about my 15-year-old self and I was with this guy, Philip guy, and he was very good looking. And he was at a posh grammar school at the other side of town. But anyway, so his friend was making a film, which I was really interested in. So I was making films. I started up a filmmaking group at school. I was running a filmmaking club. I was really interested. And anyway, so he was making a film and we were in the film, and I was so just wanting to be like him, to like me, I guess, or something.
Kind of in
but
awe
I
of
didn't
him.
say a freaking word. I don't know if I was in awe of him particularly, but I didn't say anything in the film. And he was like, "Oh, can you hold up this and do this?" And I was just like being really so people pleaser. And looking back, I think, oh my God, we could have been talking about film. Like I was subscribing to Film and Sound, which was like, the film magazine when I was 15. This guy owned his family owned the local cinema. I mean, I could have had such cool convos with him, but instead I came along as the girlfriend, as you did at that moment.
Yeah.
And I said, in this little tiny skirt, as was the fashion, and I had a big perm. Oh my God, I must have been so cute. But didn't feel cute at all, and just felt like I was shit. And I just had to like do as I was told, and maybe he would kiss me at the end of the day, my boyfriend, and oh, what a win that would be.
Yeah.
Disgusting. And now I'm like so sad for that little girl. Like I could have been talking to his mate about film. And even now, oh, he must have been one cool dude.
And
but,
you were clearly,
I was cool.
Exactly,
Dude
you were
well.
really cool.
I was cool,
and really
I just had no confidence to talk about what I wanted to talk about, what I was interested in.
Yeah,
didn't matter at all in my head.
And now,
so sad. Can we just look at us now?
Now
oh my
we
God.
have got this platform.
Exactly. Now we've got our own friggin' broadcasting TV station. Bless our cotton socks. And
we speak.
We speak. And it's important. And, and I'm never again going to hold a fucking title sign in a movie where I don't actually say anything and I'm just some freaking surfy girlfriend. It was a surfy film, and in the film, I was playing a surfy girlfriend, completely mute. Yeah, which is like a whole nother Australian puberty blues thing going on there. But
I had an Australian
crazy. Yeah. I don't really want to make it about being Australian because that's not clearly that's not what it's about, is it?
No.
It's a
so what it is about is a series of podcasts that we're going to put on to try out some ideas around different women's voices.
Yeah, that's it. And by finding our own voices.
Yeah.
Trying not to talk over the top of Rebecca.
And I'm trying not to talk over the top of
Angie. But
if we do, that's because we're excited.
And we've been finishing each other's sentences a little bit. That's okay. We're excited and we're not really going to censor ourselves like that anymore and put ourselves down. Can I just say, can we not ever do that? Can we ban the word sorry?
I think that that's going to go a little step too far for me.
Catholic. I'm not sorry. We just say Laurie instead if we have to say it. Okay.
Well,
Great.
And I'm sorry, but I think
that's enough.
I think that's enough.
Yeah.
I think that's enough.
So we can go and have a cup of tea now. We could try on some clothes.
I think we should save that for another episode. Because I am not going to purchase any clothes today.
I like this umbrella. I mean, that's stylish. Come on, man. Like if you were at the beach and it was hot, we could be like, in the shade under this cool brolly. Yeah.
We could.
I like this green feathered hat too as well. It's so like what year? Let's date this. Is this 50s?
Late 50s, early 60s.
Oh my God, my grandma used to wear hats like this. She had, and with like,
oh my God, I have just. So have you ever seen?
Grandmothers are in the room.
Oh, I'm going to introduce a man into the room, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Have you ever seen the photo of Picasso walking along the
What
beach.
a fucking asshole he
Yeah,
was.
he was.
Sorry.
Walking along the beach though with a parasol in front of him. And I'm trying to think. I think it was with Jacqueline. It's a beautiful photo. And I just suddenly got a vision of that.
Oh, okay. She was holding the parasol for him over here. So now you're anyway. I'll be Picasso, you hold it over me. Cool. Okay, should we say bye now?
We should say bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening. And please come back because next week we're talking about something amazing. What are we talking about next week? How to what should we do? What we had that list.
We have got a list. We have got a plan.
Talk about. What about how to we might do a food one. We've got food parenting. We had all these.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah. Send us your ideas, folks. What
would you
like
to hear our opinion on how to in your life?
Yeah, and also, I mean, I feel like, I would really like to hear from you as well. And I think I've got special guests in my head that I really like to speak to. So whoever says yes is going to be here.
Yeah. But I think we'll aim to try and have a guest for the next episode.
Yes,
definitely.
Yes, let's have a guest for the next one,
and we will see who was prepared to say yes to us.
Yeah, that would be cool. So, who's going to say no to us? No one says no to me, Rebecca. Can I just say that now? I said the Eskimos. No, that's true. It sounds like I'm getting a big head. Because they're going down if they say no to me. Yeah.
And the reason we're sitting so close, if you just wondered, is because we're also shooting this.
Now you've made me feel weird about us sitting close because I thought, this is cool.
No, because we both need to be in the shot. But we're also, as well as on this channel, you can find us on other social media channels.
All the social media channels. We'll be everywhere. We'll be like
you'll be sick of us.
Hay fever. Except we'll be, as opposed to making you inflamed, we'll be like cooling and calming.
Well, we're going to have a poem at the end.
We're going to do a poem at the end. I'm ready for a poem anytime.
Angie is going to read.
Okay. I'll have to put my glasses on. Look, folks, I'll take these off. These are my reading glasses stuck together with glue. I don't know how. I swear to God I had 20 reading glasses and now I've got about 2 left. These are the last ones I can find.
It's 12 o'clock.
It's 12 o'clock. Oh, my goodness. It's a good time to start.
Yeah.
Have we really talked for an hour? That's insane. Okay, shall I read it? I'll just have to bring up my poems. But maybe... God. Okay, I don't know if I want to read any of that. Poems, notes, in the shadows. Oh, I know what I could read.
I'm taking my glasses off in no one ever sees me on social media without my sunglasses, but I'm revealing myself.
Okay, I'm going to read this. It's a Mary Oliver poem. See, if I could wear these under my glasses, these are so big, look. How's that?
Oh, gosh, that's clever. Does that work for you?
I'm clever like that. I just make do. Does it work?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does, I think. So this is Mary Oliver. It's called The Journey. I would like to think that I'll do my own poems in future, but just because this one
was a bit ad hoc, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's called The Journey, and it goes, one day you finally knew what you had to do and began. Though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice, and though the whole house began to tremble, and you felt that old tug at your ankles. Mend my life, each voice cried, but you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do. Though the wind pried with its stiff fingers at the foundations, and though their melancholy was terrible, it was already late enough and a wild night, and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voice behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing that you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. Good, huh?
Good.
Thank you, Mary Oliver.
Yeah.
We love you.
Okay,
so
thanks. That was great, wasn't it?
Okay, so that's it. That's the end.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. And send us messages. Tell us what you'd like to see, hear, do. And what about finishing with a style tip from Rebecca? Just show me your favourite dress. Just a little bit.
All right.
Because I would love that.
Okay, so I'm very trying hard not to buy this dress.
So which if I said to you, Rebecca, you have to buy something today,
if I have to
it's
buy
all
something
free,
today,
what would you go home with?
It's going to be this.
That's beautiful.
So this
I'm
is
not sure,
handmade.
anyway.
It's handmade.
Yeah.
And it's got lovely little pin tucks in it. And I think it's possibly late 70s, early 80s. And it's just cute fabric and it's brushed and it's just lovely. And as all I wear in Bridport are chunky walking boots, it would be perfect for chunky walking boots.
Yeah, I can see you in that. And I think this checkers, this sort of plaid checker is quite in at the moment, isn't it? Not that I'm like reading fashion magazines or anything.
I have no idea.
Do we not worry about that?
No, we don't. We just wear what makes us happy.
Yeah, obviously.
That's what we do. Okay, we really are going
that's
now.
what we do. But I'm glad. I'd like to finish with the fashion advice. And how much is that if anyone would like to come down and purchase that? Or are you worried that someone might buy it and you want to have it?
This home.
She might be taking it home, so.
But if you are looking for great fashion,
you'll have to buy it
If you're looking for great vintage fashion in Bridport, this is an amazing treasure trove.
So good.
And I actually didn't know it was here. And another plug for me, just very briefly. On my Instagram channel, you will find on my IGTV some very well-being videos. And they're all about how you come somewhere like this and you try some things on and you do a bit of dressing up and you just leave feeling absolutely fabulous. There you go.
Yeah, we're going to leave feeling fabulous.
Do dressing up.
Yeah, we're going to do some dressing up. Love ya.
Bye.
Thanks. Have fun. See ya. Okay, that was it. End.